Here now is nationally syndicated radio host of the Larry Elder Show, the man himself. Larry, great to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm going to get to your state in just a second, but first on Governor Cuomo, because I know you've been up on this story, a cover-up involving thousands of deaths of elderly folks in nursing homes. Can he survive this politically?
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. And as you know, our own Janice Dean talked about how because of Governor Cuomo's orders, her father-in-law and mother-in-law both died in nursing homes, 2 different nursing homes. It is outrageous. And David, also you have to ask yourself, how could this have gone under the nose of the New York Times, arguably the nation's most influential newspapers? They were just gushing, giving him just fawning coverage. The man got an Emmy for the way he handled the COVID-19 crisis. And all this was going on, and you guys did not know that in the epicenter of news in America. It's also a media story as well, I think, David.
Well, and frankly, I think that's why we had the cover-up, because he thought he could get away with it. I mean, with the exception of Fox News and some other reporters at the New York Post, as you say, everybody not only fawning over him and avoiding any negative news on him and magnifying to dramatic proportions all of the positive news, but also giving him an Emmy Award, for goodness sakes. So he thought it was pure hubris. He thought he could get away with a cover-up, but he hasn't. So will he be forced finally to pay a political price for this?
You know, that's New York. It's hard to say. It's a very left-wing state. He's going to argue the reason that he hid the numbers is this, that, and the other. It won't be a persuasive reason. It won't be convincing, but he'll mouth some sort of reason and figure out some sort of way of blaming it on Trump. That's what they're going to do. I have no idea whether or not this ought to cause him to resign or to be in political peril, but it certainly ought to.
But your governor, Gavin Newsom, has been unable to prevent this recount from going. It looks like it's going to happen. Do you think he could be kicked out?
You know, you can tell when things get serious, David, when they go from ignoring it to calling it a coup to saying that white nationalists are involved in the effort. It's gotten very, very serious. And you also can tell when they start all of a sudden reversing decisions for no particular reason. For example, we banned outdoor dining a few weeks ago. And then when they began to gather these petitions, all of a sudden, without any change in the availability of ICU beds, he allowed outdoor dining. So the other thing that's different from the last time we recalled the governor is that we had a sort of governor to be in the wings, and that was Arnold Schwarzenegger, because you vote on 2 things. You vote on whether or not you want to recall, and secondly, who do you want to replace him? So there was kind of an obvious person who had 100% name recognition to replace him. The person who's throwing his hat in the ring right now to replace him is the same guy who ran against him 2 years ago and lost by 20 points. So I'm not quite sure, particularly as the vaccines become available, people go back to work, the crisis abates, and he appears, Governor Gavin Newsom, to be sufficiently contrite for his mistakes. I think he might be able to survive.
Larry,
I'm on the other side.
I'm getting a wrap, but I just have to ask you this. I mean, we have the lockdowns really separated 2 groups of politicians: the control freaks like Newsom and Cuomo, and then those who tried to keep Americans safely opened. Is it any coincidence that the control freaks were all Republicans and the open America the open America were all Republicans and the closed freaks were all Democrats?
No, there's no coincidence. And what I'm hoping is that people in California have rethought their embracement of the control freaks. If that's true, then this could be a movement, and California could be leading the forefront of it.
All right, we'll be watching. Larry Elder, great to see you, my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.